Welcome back, everybody, to another episode of The Weekly Planet where we talk movies and comics and TV shows. My name is James, also known as Mr. Sunday, and with me, as always, it's Nick Mason's own Nick Mason.
It's great to be here. Now, that was I think, a fairly weak crack of the can there, James. Let's give... Here's a burly man's crack of the can.
I'm a seasoned professional.
Oh, yeah. You know why? Because this is the Coke that does something.
Oh, yeah.
And you've got the Coke that does nothing.
I don't know why they don't call it Coke that does nothing. That's what we call it. This is no sugar, no caffeine Coke.
Right, and mine's no sugar, some caffeine. And that's
something.
That's the one difference between us.
And that makes you more manly than me.
Sometimes people can't tell the difference between us on the podcast because our voices are similar and our opinions are similar and bad. They're similarly bad.
Agreed.
But I'm drinking the superior Coke or the inferior Coke.
Well, I already had a coffee, so I'm not.
I already had a coffee.
Yeah, well, we're not all...
I already had 2 coffees. Spoiler alert.
Heroes. 2 coffees. Yeah. This guy.
Oh, yeah.
Just get on ADHD medication like a normal person, all right?
I won't. I shan't.
Mason, it's a big week for Tom Cruise. I mean, it always is.
That's so true,
but
isn't it?
It's a particularly good week.
It's a week, I mean,
big for Tom Cruise.
He's going to have to eat his customary 2 buckets of popcorn every
I don't
movie.
believe he eats popcorn. It's too calorie dense.
And is it also because...
Cinema popcorn, that is.
Right, yeah.
He's lying. Unless somebody's bringing in his own, which I think they are.
Special popcorn.
Special Tom Cruise popcorn.
What would he be on? Would it be keto?
It'd be air fried with maybe
poppy.
Just salt and no butter.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. I mean, he's ripped in this new movie, I tell you what.
He's a demon.
Also,
we know that, right?
But also there's a video recently of him. He's just casually eating some popcorn in a way that nobody's ever eaten popcorn before.
That's what I'm saying.
Is he doing this for 2 hours? He does it. It's sort of a flick into the mouth.
Yeah.
But it's not even the one where you pick up a kernel and you throw it in the air and you catch it like that. He palms a piece of popcorn.
Yeah.
And then he sort of violently smashes it, like he raises his fist up and he smashes it into his face.
Is it one piece of popcorn?
I think it's one piece of popcorn.
Nobody does that.
That's what I'm saying, right?
Yeah.
It's a handful of nothing.
He's a demon.
I agree. I agree. We're talking about Mission Impossible Final
Makes a hell of
a
movie, though, doesn't it?
I agree. 100%. Yeah.
So, we're going to be talking about that. There's time codes below if you want to jump to anything in particular. But we're also going to be talking about Avengers, Doomsday and Secret Wars being delayed, plus what that means for the other Disney/Marvel properties.
All cancelled.
That's right. We're going to talk about what Tony Gilroy thinks what Marvel are doing and why they're failing.
Okay.
We've got trailers
Honk.
for Jurassic World Rebirth and Welcome to This Terrible Clown.
And Town.
And Town.
It's a terrible town. Should be called Terrible Town, Terrible Clown.
Yes, that's right. Now, you insisted on this, but we are going to be getting a Skibidi Toilet update.
I did not insist on that.
You insist on it, and I'm happy to provide.
Okay.
And then we're going to talk about the state of both Days of Thunder 2 and Top Gun Maverick 3. Whoa. Let's see who else he can kill from these universes.
Combine the two.
The only returning character.
Same universe. 2 Tom Cruises. Maverick and whatever his character's name. Cole Trickle.
You think I'm joking?
No, I don't. I remember.
Patrick H. Williams has a great video on it. We are going to do a movie commentary for Days of Thunder coming up.
Okay, so we can say Cole Trickle a lot.
We can say Cole Trickle. That's right. We're going to start with this.
Okay.
Avengers Doomsday.
Before you go into that, just a thought I had.
Okay.
I had a thought when I was watching Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. He does go with unconventional hero names. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because, in Hollywood, the only acceptable hero names are Jack and John and Joe, maybe.
Yeah.
But he's Ethan.
Yeah.
He's Cole Trickle.
Is Ethan from the original series? Is that one?
No, he's new.
Whoa.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I mean, Cole Trickle's based on Dick Trickle, who was a NASCAR driver or whatever.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not sure. You're saying sure.
Oh,
like
I'm sure.
Not. Yeah.
I'm sure.
But it's real. Anyway, he's a demon. We're pretty confident.
Yeah, we are. It's true. We simply don't have time to get into it, though. There's not enough time.
So Avengers Doomsday and Secret Wars, they have been delayed.
Okay.
So they initially had May 2026 release dates, both in... one was in May 2026, and then the following was May 2027. It's Doomsday, then Secret Wars, apparently. Now
we're switching them.
Avengers...
Switching them.
Backwards.
That's right. They're not changing the plots or anything. They're just going to do the end.
Backwards.
And then at the end, the Russo brothers are going to show up and they're going to be like, I bet you wish you knew how this storyline started. Well, you're going to have to come back.
But nobody would. I wouldn't.
Interesting.
I don't think I would.
Well, they're trying it out, man. They're trying everything.
It's good. Mix up the formula. So now Avengers Doomsday has a release date of December 18th, 2026, and Avengers Secret Wars has a date of December 17th, 2027. They're doing the Avatar newer Star Wars release dates.
I'm going to forget those release dates. I'm going to forget them.
Just December.
Okay.
December of next year, December of the year after. I mean, there's 100 people 100 superheroes in each of these. There's probably going to be weird dimensional stuff and time travel. And et cetera.
Obviously the internet's exploded with theories as to why this delay. What do you think it is? To write a script?
Yeah, to write a script. They need, and there'd be scheduling. There's also, it would also be like the timeline of what else is coming out, I think, because Spider-Man Brand New Day was originally going to be between.
Yeah, right.
But now it's going to be before.
Okay.
And I don't think that has necessarily anything to do with it, but I don't think they would have done that if it messed with this too much.
That's true, yeah.
So
that would suggest then that Brand New Day is
more street level,
small scale.
I would like that to be the case. I would like that
too also, because wasn't there a big battle between various creatives and the studio heads or whatever as to what sort of movie it was going to be? And the studio heads wanted another multiverse.
I want a bad movie.
Yeah.
Well, I want an even worse movie.
That's right. Boys, we can have both. And you can both marry me, Kevin Feige. He's going to marry all the studio executives.
Okay, that's fine. You can do that.
Yeah. That's his last pitch. That's his last ditch effort to be like...
whoever this person is.
Yeah.
Yeah. Apparently, though, it's also been confirmed, this is via Comic Book Movie, that Untitled Marvel movie was removed from the February 13th, 2026 release date.
Okay.
Whatever that was. And also...
well, that's less than a year, and we don't even know what it is.
Exactly.
So.
It was probably Blade at some point.
Probably Blade.
There was also Marvel movies slated for November 6th, 2026 and November 5th, 2027. They were bookmarked as MCU titles, but now that's been amended to Untitled Disney films.
Oh.
Could be anything.
Could be anything.
But this is also interesting because next year we're getting The Mandalorian versus Groglet. And that was coming out on May 22nd.
I'm going to forget all these dates. Why do we even...
It's for people who care.
Oh, okay, sure.
It's for people who have brains like mine.
Email in if you care.
So that was going to be around the time of...
I'll just put it in my iCal.
You have an iCal?
No, I don't even know what that is really.
It's a calendar, I assume.
I don't have an Apple phone. So.
You don't have an Apple phone?
Correct.
Great. That's great, Mason.
It is great.
That's our best and only sponsor. You ruined it.
We don't have them as a sponsor.
Not yet. We won't now.
They don't sponsor anyone. They don't give anybody anything for free.
I want something for free. Give me it. Give me your phone.
You can't have my phone. Stay away.
What the point is, next year we were going to have an Avengers and a Star Wars movie like weeks apart.
Oh, right, okay.
From the same company, which would have been a terrible idea.
Oh, because of Avengers versus Groglet or whatever.
Exactly.
Sure. Okay. That's actually great.
Why do you think this is delayed? I know I gave my reasons, but do you want to give the same or similar reasons?
I just gave the same reasons. They haven't written anything. They started filming and then they went, oh, wait. I bet some.
Has anybody written any of this down?
Yeah.
Just improv.
I bet Chris Hemsworth was like, I'd like to be in a really good Marvel movie after my last effort. Like he's publicly come out and said, I think we went too far.
Wouldn't it be interesting?
And I think he probably went, can I have some script pages? Or am I just going to, muck about here? And they're like, you're going to muck about,
You
Chris
did the
Hemsworth.
international sign for mucking about.
Mucking about, yeah, exactly, yeah.
I agree.
And they're like, I guess we could write some stuff.
Yeah, we'll do that for you, Chris Hemsworth.
That's right.
And the 100 other people who are in this. So there you go. Look forward to those movies when they come out. So
sponsored content.
That's right.
Who got paid for this?
So next year, we're getting a new Avatar movie in December.
Sure.
So you always need a big tentpole Disney movie.
That's true.
In the Decembers, and that's what we're getting. Sometimes it's an Aquaman movie, and that's Warner Brothers, and that's okay.
Is it?
It's okay.
It's okay.
He's got a stealth suit. Mason,
it's true.
This is from Slash Film. Tony Gilroy's been doing the rounds, being like, I'm a great writer and I made a great show. Also, it was hard. And you know what? All that is true.
I agree.
I think he's correct.
That's correct.
There was a moment where he's like, there's only a few people in Hollywood who are at like a really like elite writing level. And I'm like, that's, yeah.
Did he name names?
He said himself.
Okay.
Well, that was the implication.
Okay.
And I'm like, yeah, I guess, yeah, you're not wrong.
Number 1, Tony Gilroy. Number 2, everyone else. I'm the king of this town and I'll never die.
So he was talking about why Marvel movies are failing. He said, this is the quote, trying to get what do they call it? I can't remember the name of the box. What the fuck is the name of the box in the Avengers? What the fuck are they going for?
He's talking about the Tesseract.
Yeah, someone reminded him, the Tesseract. He went, the Tesseract. That's why all these movies are all, that's why they fail. You're just constantly, if that's all you're doing, then all you're doing is just trying to get the Tesseract. They're not all like that.
I mean, he's a little bit out of date, terminology-wise, but he's not wrong.
It was a stone and a glove and a...
That's true.
Whatever. So, yeah, it's I think... And also, what's that idea that it's either a get the thing or close the gate
It's
movie?
always we've got to get the orb or we've got to close the gate. Every movie, every Marvel movie is one of the two.
And not just Marvel movies.
Oh, every movie.
Every movie. So... Yeah, because again, we talked about this last week because Andor was initially the very early idea that it was going to be the weekly adventures of K2SO and Cassian Andor. He's like, well, that's going to run out of steam real quick.
Yeah, I mean, I've only got so many orbs to get and gates to close.
Exactly.
In these scripts.
Yeah.
You know?
So, you make it about characters or whatever.
Yeah. Tony Gilroy, I think you'll find that the orb is the Death Star plans.
Oh,
you
yeah.
idiot.
Yeah, that's a good point.
And they closed the gate that was...
oppression.
That's true.
But don't get caught in the gate. It'll chop you in half.
Yeah, and that's oppression.
That is oppression. So what do you think? I think there is truth to that in the sense that there's no kind of what are the character through lines at this point?
Yeah.
Whose adventures are we following? Because you can go from like the start of Captain America or the start of Iron Man all the way through to Endgame and you see what's kind of going on. And now they're like, new Avengers movie. But I'm like, but who's what?
We don't even know who the Avengers are
Who's
currently.
what now? Well, there's two Avengers teams maybe. And
Yeah. And it depends who wants to renew their contracts and what the studio's willing to pay for everybody to come back.
Yeah.
And for how long. A full movie, a cameo, one scene, we don't know.
I mean, if they're doing Secret Wars as well, that's a close the gate idea, isn't it?
They got to close that gate to the Secret
dimensions
Wars.
coming
Yeah.
together
They
and
probably have to get the orb in order to close the gate.
Probably. It's probably something like that in that order. Not to say that any of these movies will be bad. In fact, I think all movies are good.
I think every movie's good.
Name a movie.
Sphere.
Good. Fuck.
The Barry Levinson directed movie Sphere.
We just watched the movie Sphere.
Based on the book by Michael Crichton, starring a bevy of Hollywood stars of yesteryear.
Yeah. And today,
Name one.
Samuel L. Jackson.
He's still around.
Yeah. Liev Schreiber.
He's
Queen
Ray
Latifah.
Donovan. Yep, all right.
Barry Levinson.
No. No, he's not in it. He didn't cameo in his own
Sometimes he does, but he didn't in that one.
underwater
Right.
sci-fi
Yeah.
horror movie.
For those people who don't know, the Michael Crichton thing won out, and we're doing Michael Crichton
Did
adaptations.
it for real, though?
No, it actually did. If you
Wow.
look at the comments, my God.
Because that's because you pitched it as we're going to tank the algorithm. they're banking on
We're
your
doing it
failure.
together. It's not just me. We're all doing it together. We're all working together to destroy my YouTube channel and our reputation.
Do you think potentially this will destroy YouTube's algorithm altogether and will be
that'd be great.
kind of a new era?
I hope it's Mr. Beast just suddenly he's twisted everything into Michael Crichton adaptations. But for real,
I hope
I made a real Congo. I cut a gorilla's hand off with a laser.
I made a real sphere. It reflects everything except people. How'd I do it? I'm the devil. That's how I did it.
I made a timeline. What's that one about? We don't know. We haven't watched it yet.
I'm pretty sure it's about 100 people being in a room, and then some of them volunteer to leave the room.
Oh, man, I'm never leaving this room. You'll have to get me out of here. I'm here to win it. Do you want $1,000 to leave? Yeah.
Yep. 10 other people would be eliminated. Yeah, I'll do it. Yeah, whatever.
Good.
Yeah.
right.
Anyway, I was going to say, I hope the YouTube algorithm gets reset.
Yeah.
The most popular videos are like 2-minute animations where people are putting on funny voices.
Agreed.
Because that was what it was back in the
That's
day.
what it was. It was Swoozy and another guy.
Yeah.
And et cetera.
And that end of the world video.
And that end of the world one. Yeah. All right, Mason. Trailers ahoy.
Honk.
Wow. Enthusiastic trailer this week.
Seems that way.
Bit of a sing-song.
I think they were on their way to something else, though.
What? To
Yeah,
what?
I don't know.
They're working for someone else?
It was dressed up like a party boat. So, I don't know. Probably like somebody's 40th
Are we not
or
paying
whatever.
the trailer, the boat trailer enough?
I mean, if they're taking on second jobs, I guess
I
so.
don't like this, Mason. I don't like this.
Oh, so you want the party, you want the
I
trailer
wanna
both to be exclusive.
Pay less,
But
but
not-
also
but not
not
have
have
it-
it do other things.
Okay, right. Okay.
Yeah.
It seems like it's heart somewhere else now.
Good. My heart's also somewhere else. It's with Tom Cruise.
Wow.
Who's a demon.
Yeah.
Mason.
Go on.
Jurassic World Rebirth.
We saw that trailer.
I wrote great, and you went.
Fine. That's because you love all movies, though.
I do love all movies.
You wouldn't have said anything less than great.
Yeah, man.
You would have said great or super great.
Yeah, man. Is it a go to the island and have to get the thing? Yes.
Yes, it is.
Is there a kid there for no reason? Yes.
Is there a T-Rex? Yes. But
Yes.
it's not the same T-Rex, right?
No, it couldn't be.
Couldn't be.
This is an island even more dangerous than the first Jurassic Park island, and even more dangerous than the second Jurassic
This
Park
is the
island.
one with all the dinosaurs that have been given prison sentences for their various
We
crimes.
don't know what they did.
That's right. Well, some of them stole from the concession stands on the regular Jurassic Park.
Well, that's okay. I don't mind that.
Okay, well, Jurassic Park HR does mind that. So they went to they've been sent to the prison island.
Is this where they sent Dennis and Edry for stealing embryos?
I hope so.
Yeah, me too.
He's riding that T-Rex.
There's big domed dinosaurs.
Okay.
That one, the one that's like an alien from Alien, and it's in a big red room.
Oh, yeah, that's the most evil dinosaur they've ever built. And
They
it's in
already
the big
did
red
that.
room.
You made a point that they should have little doors.
Well, I did say that because there's a moment in this trailer where the big
Open
door,
the door.
the big door closes, but there shouldn't be a big door at all.
I agree with you, man.
Right?
I agree with you.
They should open the roof
Yeah.
and crane it out with a
Yeah.
helicopter or
Yeah.
something. But there's a scene in this trailer where a man in a hazmat suit.
Open the door.
He's like, oh, the door closes on it before he can get out, and now he's stuck in the room with the big dinosaur, the big evil bobblehead dinosaur.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Help! Reopen the door." And they're like, "We're not going to do that."
Yeah.
That's. But give him a little door.
If you can crawl under the door, that's okay.
Yeah, little doggy door.
Little doggy door, crawl
You
through
could
it.
go through it and it'd be fine.
Absolutely.
And then the dinosaur too big.
My kids.
That's their downfall. They're too big.
Both my kids now, they can nearly not. Well, the oldest one definitely can not fit through the doggy door anymore, and that's sad.
So you're going to have to open the door for them now.
Yeah, it's also like it's handy if I ever lock the keys inside. You send one of them through.
Send one of them through, yeah.
Yeah. By the way, don't come to my house and try to get through the doggy door.
Yeah.
I'm closing it when I'm not here, man.
That's right.
You know?
And sometimes there's a dog on the other side.
That's right.
An old dog. A tiny old dog.
Hey, man, she's a good old dog.
I agree, but she's tiny and old.
She's only 13, which isn't that old for a dog.
It's pretty damn old. It's pretty dang old. So now, your kids will be too big for that. So if you need to if you lock your keys in the house, you're going to have to get them to do a big run up.
Yeah.
Smash through.
Throw them through a window. Yeah.
You can kick the edges of the doggy door.
Good point.
To weaken it, and then they can charge
Just run through it, yeah. So it's got a T-Rex attacking a boat. That was in the original novel and was supposed to be in the original movie.
The original Jurassic World Rebirth novel.
No, the original Jurassic Park novel, which is exciting.
Uh-huh. Do you think it'll be in the official Jurassic World Rebirth novelization?
I hope so.
Written by Max Allan Collins.
I hope so, Mason.
I think so too.
Yeah. There's also big bird ones. Raptors are back. There's bird raptors. The mosasaur is back, and they have to get all the DNA for cancer or something.
That's right.
To make a super cancer.
That's right.
Or something.
But then never use it.
Yeah.
For noble purposes.
For noble reasons. We didn't do it, but that's okay. Because
right.
a bunch of people got eaten, and that's
now,
good.
we've got Scarlett Johansson's in this.
Yep. Mahershala Ali. We've got Jonathan Bailey.
Who's in Stuff.
Yep. We've got Rupert Friend. No friend of mine.
That's right.
Because I've never met him. I don't know. Look, I'm not saying it's going to be great.
Okay.
But it's Gareth Evans, and I think he does scale really well, as we've talked about.
Gareth Evans, not Gareth Edwards.
Sorry, yes. He directed Rogue One, sort of.
Yes.
And other things which I liked. So, I don't know, man. I don't know. I think it is it is a stripped kind of back to basics Jurassic Park idea.
Mm-hmm, sure.
But it is also like all the Jurassic Park / World movies, it seems, to a degree.
Hey, wow. It's almost like my evaluation of this franchise is true. They're all about the same level of quality.
Except for the first one, which is the best one by a lot times.
No one's ever said that.
By a lot times.
No one's ever said that. No one's ever said that combination of words together.
Okay, that's interesting. But you could agree with me that it's out July 2nd.
I'm not going to forget that date.
You're not going to forget it?
I'm going to forget it. I misspoke there.
What's the date? What is it? Come on. You can do this.
July, did you say?
Yeah, that's right. I'll give you a clue.
July 1st?
No.
2nd?
Yes.
Really?
Second guess. Nice. There you go. You're good. You're good. You're a good person.
Thank you. That's all it took.
That's a big month because we've got that. We've got Superman. We've got Fantastic Four. July's going to be huge.
Huge.
Next, we've got It, Welcome to Derry.
Is it called It, Welcome to Derry? Or
Something like
Welcome
that.
to Derry?
I think, well, that's a good question. I think they'd have to put It in the title.
No.
Wouldn't
It wouldn't show up in the.
No,
in the
you're right.
search-
It is
search
just called
results.
Welcome to Derry. No, it is. Wait, I don't know. Yeah, it is.
HBO Max says It, Welcome to Derry.
Yeah, I mean, you got to call it It. So, you know. Anyway, welcome back to this rotten town with this rotten clown in it.
That's right.
But it's the past.
Rotten Town, Rotten Clown.
This is like the 50s or whatever.
It is, it's true.
So the clown turns up every 30 years or something, 20 years, I can't remember. So this is the previous generation of kids.
That's right.
What I do like about this, and I think it's also the strength of the first of the most recent movie, is the kid stuff is way more interesting than the adult stuff.
Right.
Like an adult dealing with depression and also a clown, that's sad to me. I don't like it.
Sure.
But kids running amok and hitting a clown with a baseball bat, that's good.
That is
good and fun.
It's good, clean fun for the whole family, but not little kids.
No. So it's also Bill Skarsgård is back.
Okay.
And what's his name is involved, isn't he still? Andy Muschietti. So he's developing it along with Barbara Muschietti.
Now, people mightn't remember him as the director of The Flash.
Yeah, but
However, he also directed the It movies.
nobody's fault. Nobody's fault. Nobody's fault but mine.
You did this? You did The Flash?
I did.
You made it happen?
Don't you think it's good, though?
I think it's good that as a first try, pretty impressive, man.
You know what? If that was the first thing that I'd done, that would have been really impressive.
You recommended putting the baby in the microwave in that movie.
I did.
That's great.
That was based on a real-life situation that I heard about. This is out late this year. It's not dated. Then you don't have to. It's good for you.
I mean, it's pretty dated.
It's sure, but it's good for you though because you don't have to remember nothing.
No, he doesn't remember dates. That's right.
Yeah, but I want to look at those It movies later this year, the new ones.
Just look at them on your shelf.
No, we'll do them for Caravan of Garbage. Then we can package them together with the old ones.
Oh, nice.
And then we're all having a good time.
Nice.
Great, Mason.
Hello.
Production has begun on the Skibidi Toilet movie.
Terrific.
It's moving forward.
There's a production. There's a promotional still or something. It's just people going like, "Whoa."
Is there?
There must be a Skibidi Toilet just off camera.
Anywhere around here.
Out of frame, there's this Skibidi Toilet, which I assume comes from space. They got the people in the still.
I got a synopsis actually.
Okay, the still. Well, before you get into it, the still.
Is there an actual still?
Yeah.
I thought you were making things up.
No. God, I'm going to go to Twitter and type in Skibidi Toilet. Skibidi Toilet, Skibidi Day. My, oh my, what a wonderful toilet.
What?
Yeah. Skibidi Toilet movie. Here we go. Someone has searched before me. Here it is. Look. They are coming.
That's fake, right? That's
it's from Disgusting Film.
Disgusting
film in my view.
Yeah.
That's right.
Who's in that?
I don't know, man. A couple of young people that Michael Bay doesn't want to pay A-list salary, so he's got some young people there.
God. Minecraft is a lot to answer for.
They might be AI generated.
That's what I'm saying.
It's got the official Bayhem registered trademark watermark here, so
kiss of death.
Skibidi Toilet. Okay, so you have a plot synopsis.
No, I have this is what Skibidi Toilet is about.
Skibidi Toilet must be a flying toilet.
No.
Because these people are looking up.
Maybe he's big.
Maybe he's about to jump off a building.
It says
Don't jump, Skibidi Toilet.
I got nothing to live for.
I'm a toilet.
And I'm a man in the toilet.
I'm a man in the toilet.
Is this all me? Is this the toilet part of my body?
I don't know.
I'm going to jump and find out what happens. It centers around the war. This is just the general synopsis.
Centers around the war.
Between toilets.
The war between toilets.
With heads coming out of their bowls and men with cameras for heads.
Huh.
Did you know that?
No, I didn't. I thought there was one guy. But there's more than one. Are they all... I didn't know Skibidi Toilet was a man's full legal name. So is he part of the toilet family? So there's presumably other people who are something toilet as well.
Yeah, I don't know. Cameraman looks like humans, but the heads can be CCTV camera, loudspeaker, or television. In a city, Skibidi Toilet and the leader G-Man turn humans into toilets. The cameraman ally against the toilets.
So G-Man, because the Skibidi Toilet head is a character model from Half-Life,
yes,
right?
That's right.
The G-Man.
Yeah.
Okay. I think I was aware of the cameraman character, but also that's like the most generic...
Yeah.
Like a symbol of, suited men, but their head's a camera or a TV or whatever. Like, that's not.
Isn't it also like it's interesting in terms of like licensing? Because some of them are assets from Half-Life or whatever you said, Valve and whatever. So I guess they're kind of involved in this.
Maybe.
Gizmodo believed the movie to be an unfathomably expensive to present an experience that somehow deluxe to its inspiration.
Do you think this is going to be the Minecraft movie but worse? Because I think
that. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Coming soon said it includes Academy Award nominated production designer Jeffrey Beecroft, who worked on 12 Monkeys, Transformers, and A Quiet Place, and 3-time Academy Award winning VFX supervisor Rob Legato, including Titanic, Avatar, Hugo, and The Jungle Book.
Wow.
So it's going to look great.
It is going to look great.
Yeah.
I mean, Michael Bay movies are nightmarish,
Agreed.
but a lot of the time they do look great. He's actually making decisions.
Yeah, I guess he is.
Yeah, so... But is he directing this or only producing this?
I don't think he's directing it, as far as I can tell.
Right.
Yeah.
Should probably get Andy Machete.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm okay with that.
Cut through that red tape of good movies to get to the bad movies and make a bad movie.
Yeah, man.
Okay, Skibidi Toilet, that's good. I don't know. I guess Gabe Newell from Valve is going to be there just on set all the time, making sure this is authentically Skibidi Toilet.
But also making sure they don't make any actual video games at Valve.
Who invented Skibidi Toilet? Is this the same
sort of... Is it a meme situation?
Well, I was going to... Because you know how Slender Man was invented, I think, on the Something Awful forums?
Yeah.
And people just made up, You know, they invented this urban legend of this character, and then they made, you know, fan fiction and etc. So who owns that?
Good question.
And who gets paid for it? I think we've talked about that before, but who created Skibidi Toilet? This is a real minefield.
It's a machinima web series created by Alex Gerasimov and released through YouTube.
And so is this one of these situations where he gets a fee for this, but also considering he didn't come up with any of the original assets?
Yeah.
Maybe there'll be a story in 10 years about this guy being like, yeah, they made a movie about this thing that I put together, but Gabe Newell.
Apparently,
me and Gabe Newell both came on set, and they handed me a big briefcase with cash in it, and then I had to hand it directly to Gabe Newell. That was in the contract.
Gerasimov is apparently he's in talks with Adam Goodman and Michael Bay for the film and television adaptation. So I guess he's somewhat involved.
Okay.
Adam Goodman is a producer. Great.
That is great.
This just in, Mason.
Whoa.
Alex Garland is being confirmed to direct. What are you doing? Stop sending Morse code. Stop calling for help. You're stuck here. And you have to do it.
Oh, but I want to leave.
No, Mason, and nobody's listening anyway. He's confirmed to direct a live-action Elden Ring movie from A24 and Bandai Namco. Alex Garland recently, he did a war film, didn't he?
He did Warfare.
He did Warfare, but prior to that,
Civil War.
He did Civil War, and prior to that, he did Men, and prior to that, he did that one where Natalie Portman went into a weird
Annihilation
place. Mm-hmm. Yep. And he also wrote the movie Sunshine, which is your favorite movie.
It's your favorite
This
movie.
is a good choice.
Yeah.
So apparently, because it's based on the story by George R.R. Martin, this has been rumored
I'd
before.
forgotten that, of course, yeah.
That's right.
Yeah.
So the game came out in 2022, and obviously I've never played these because it just looks beyond my understanding of anything.
Sure.
But I'm glad it's out there, and I'm glad people are enjoying it. And also the world is like so expansive. There's so much
My understanding is that, because I've only played Bloodborne,
Yeah.
and I am bad at it. Mm-hmm. My understanding is Elden Ring is initially more forgiving.
Okay, initially.
Yeah. And there's more magic and
Sure.
sort of more elaborate. But I do love the FromSoft or their super weird worlds.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know, I think, you know, and Annihilation was a super weird world. So
Yeah.
I imagine he's going to use, you know, something along that line.
Super weird. Something weird.
I should watch Annihilation again. I don't think I got it at the time.
You didn't get it.
Mm-hmm.
Were you looking at it, or were you looking on your phone, Mason? Think about it.
That's a really good point, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
But you got it.
Well, I got it now.
Okay, great. You just got it, just there.
I just got it now. Don't worry about it.
Okay, great.
Yeah.
Video game adaptations. Are these going to be the new comic book movies, Mason? We're getting Minecraft. We're getting Skibidi Toilet.
That's true.
We're getting this. We're getting Mario Brothers, the movie, the game.
Yeah, I mean, maybe just, you know, people screaming out references.
Yeah.
You know, they're just applauding when somebody's like, ceaseless discharge. That's the name of one of the bosses.
That's incredible.
I think in one of the Dark Souls games.
Well, I'll watch this
and
movie.
everybody like, woo!
Oh, yeah, but I probably won't play the game ever.
That's true. That's terrific.
Yeah, I think
Why
so.
is that?
It's just insurmountable for me.
Okay.
A noob, a common
Right.
man.
Yeah. I'd forgotten George R. R. Martin was involved in this.
Forget about it even more.
Don't forget about it anymore. Yep. I hope it's weird.
Me too.
Because again,
Weird big crabs.
It's sort of the you know, ruined fantasy universe, and everything's awful and horrific. I think I don't think have we really seen that in a mainstream
not
fantasy
really.
kind of movie?
Not really.
I didn't think so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Just Lord of the Rings for people who haven't seen it. Just Lord of the Rings.
Maybe
but
the movie Your Highness with James Franco.
everybody's got an extra little arms and such.
Put 'em away.
Big eyeballs.
Put 'em
it's
away.
It's sort of Lord of the Rings plus Resident Evil. I
Yeah.
guess. You know,
Great.
it is great.
Last bit of news, Mason. Tom Cruise went on the morning show and he went, ha ha! And then he said,
Go on.
do you have any questions about Top Gun 2 or Days of Thunder 3 or whatever?
Uh-huh.
But the other way. And they said, yeah, you're doing that? And he said, yes.
Top Gun 2, I've already done.
Yeah.
You can see it.
Days of Thunder 3, slow your roll, he said.
We'll see how 2 does first.
Yeah. Yes, we're thinking and talking about many different stories and what we could do and what's possible. It took me 35 years to figure out Top Gun Maverick. So all of those things we're working on, we're discussing Days of Thunder and Top Gun Maverick. So the answer to that is yes. I think it also depends on how F1 does.
Okay, sure.
F1 looks expensive and a movie for dads exclusively.
Yep.
But
I mean, Top Gun Maverick, I think, was technically a movie for
Exactly.
dads
You get
only.
enough dads.
Yeah.
You get enough dads on board. You got dad cinema. So yeah. Do you think Nicole Kidman will return as her character in Days of Thunder 2?
Mrs. Trickle.
Yeah.
No.
Okay.
Yep.
Do you think Robert Duvall will return?
I think he's dead.
Oh.
But yes.
No, he's alive.
Is he? Good for him.
He's 94. Oh my God.
Wow.
Yeah. Do you think what's his name will return in it? He's Yondu. He's
Michael
in it.
Rooker.
Yeah.
Sure, why not?
Let's get them all back.
Yeah, let's get them all back.
But often it's Tom Cruise and maybe one other person, which was what happened with Top Gun Maverick.
Yeah, that's
How
true.
many original Mission Impossible people are back? Well, quite a few now, actually,
yeah.
when you think about it.
That's so true.
And I think we should talk about that next.
Okay. What was the romantic subplot situation with Top Gun Maverick? It was
Jennifer Connelly.
Jennifer Connelly, but how was her character related to anybody else?
He
from
was
the
like
previous movie?
dated her, and she was like the general's daughter.
Was
something.
she in?
No.
Was that character in the
No.
previous movie? Well, I think they'll do a similar situation.
Okay,
with this.
yeah.
It'll be a minor character from maybe. Did he have a mentor in Days of Thunder or something?
Robert Duvall.
Mentor's daughter.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mentor's daughter's a memory.
We just got to find an actor that looks a lot like Robert Duvall.
Easy.
Mrs. Duvall.
Just use CGI.
Yeah,
A
nice.
blend.
Yeah, a blended. We get Sydney Sweeney.
yeah.
We get Sydney Sweeney. We blend it with Robert Duvall.
I think that's perfect.
I think so too.
I think Tom Cruise though is very aware that he has more age appropriate love interests.
Yeah. Okay.
So
we
it has to
can't-
be somebody in their like early 40s,
Okay.
which is still 20 years younger than he is.
Yeah. I'm gonna find a list of female actors in their early 40s, and we are going to see which one would work combined using AI to combine them with Robert Duvall. All right, here we go.
I'm doing similarly.
Ooh, Charlize Theron
Oh yeah,
combined with Robert Duvall.
tall as well.
Yeah. Oh, too tall then, probably.
Well, Nicole Kidman was tall. Reese Witherspoon.
There's
and
a list
still
on
is.
there's a list on IMDb of beautiful actresses in their 40s.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
What about what's her name from Freaks and Geeks?
Oh, Linda Cardellini.
Yeah.
Perfect.
Kate Beckinsale.
Oh, yes.
Michelle Monaghan. We already did that though.
See, this is a list of beautiful actresses in their 40s, but it's alphabetical order. They're ranked, but it's alphabetical order. I think they should be ranked according to beauty.
What about Gwyneth Paltrow?
Uh,
I liked it. Do you think this is what they do in Scientology? Who can we pair Tom Cruise up
yeah,
with?
absolutely. I think they do that, yes.
So we're just doing that, are we?
We're doing
but
that.
for free.
But for free, yeah.
Kate Winslet,
Yeah. Yeah, she's got a touch of the Duvalls about it.
Amy Adams, red hair.
Does Robert
also.
Duvall have a daughter? Just throw her in there. Maybe she's not
Yeah.
even an actor.
We're spending too long on this.
Disagree.
Okay. He's got siblings.
Oh, maybe his sister?
I don't know. We got to move it along.
Okay,
then.
right.
Anyway, good luck to Robert Duvall wherever you are.
Yeah, agreed.
Let's Top Gun.
That's Top Gun.
For the YouTube version of this, don't put this in. This
Who
is
are you
not-
talking to, YouTube?
This is going to go into a YouTube video.
Oh,
this review,
okay,
probably.
all right,
and
all
I
right.
think if you open with this,
Yeah, sure.
you got to open like this. Hey, everybody, welcome back to YouTube. Give us a thumbs up because we're talking about Mission Impossible, The Final Reckoning.
Oh, yes.
How you liking this?
I'm liking it.
Yeah.
It's got big YouTube energy.
That's what I'm going for. On a budget of $400 million.
Oh, that's a lot.
Yeah. Well, this was filmed during COVID over a number of years. They do everything for real. They pay people properly. Tom Cruise's back end, etc. Tom Cruise's backside.
That's
There's a
right.
lot of that in this.
That's right. Sometimes he needs a fake one.
Yeah.
You said $40 million initially.
No, I didn't. Take that out, Collins.
You're bloody dreaming, mate. Would you just fall off the turnip truck in a spectacular stunt? Wah! You know?
Yeah, I did do that actually.
That's incredible.
So it's looking for the weekend in the US. It's going to make between $75 and $85 million.
Did we say what movie this is?
Yeah, at the top of the Mission Impossible Final Reckoning. It's going to say it in the YouTube thumbnail.
Okay, but some people can't see that.
Well, look at it now. So,
Look at it now.
and around the world, it's looking to make around 210 million, which is pretty good.
It's not enough, though, is it?
No, probably not. So this is also going to be behind Lilo and Stitch, which is going to make 275 million worldwide. The other thing that Lilo and Stitch has going for it is that it is bolstered by merchandise.
And people remember the original.
And people remember the original. Well, I guess people don't remember the previous one as much. And this movie doesn't think you do either. We'll talk about it. But yeah, Lilo and Stitch, even if it made, significantly less money than it needed to, it will survive on merchandise.
That's so true.
And whereas these live or die mostly in theaters. There is
Where's
streaming,
my
of course,
Ethan
but-
Hunt action figure?
Yeah.
Where's my Benji action figure?
Well, he's very particular about his likeness being used for action figures.
Simon
you don't see
Pegg.
a lot of them. Yes. Have you ever seen an Oblivion action figure with Tom Cruise?
No.
Have you ever seen a Magnolia action figure?
Ever seen a Dick Trickle?
Yeah.
Or
but-
a Dick Trickle action figure? Yes!
Very good.
The first and best and only joke of this video.
Correct.
If this becomes a video.
Bear in mind also, these are early numbers, so this could change. It's been
Haven't had their bloody
reported.
morning coffee. That's how early they are.
You're not wrong. It's reported that it needs to break $1 billion to make its money back.
Okay.
The Mission Impossible franchise has never done that.
No.
And I'm not sure it will on this one. I think there is a fondness for Tom Cruise just in the ether at the moment.
Okay.
You know, he's running around eating popcorn in a
Is
weird
that a
way.
Scientology term?
Yeah, probably.
The ether?
Yeah. You know, like, my friends like him. They're like, look at this guy.
There's a good energy in the spheres.
Yeah.
In the cosmic spheres.
But do you know what I mean? People are like, this guy's incredible and he's saving movies. His PR is exceptional.
It's out of this world.
It's second to none.
It's on another
because
planet.
if you remember,
the planet Xena.
Yeah, the common understanding was that everyone thought he was a demon. And he's
Yeah.
he slithered his way away from that
Yeah.
by making incredible
Like
movies.
a demon would. A slithery demon. Sure.
But I think that fondness doesn't necessarily translate into results. I mean, we saw from the last Mission Impossible that underperformed, but also it got hammered by Barbenheimer.
That's true, yeah.
Yeah.
And
I
by
think,
COVID also?
And by COVID.
I mean, that one underperformed. Both of these have underperformed for production reasons, right? Like the last one underperformed because COVID...
I wouldn't say this is underperformed. It's just budgeted way too high.
Right. But
Yeah.
COVID shut down production for a long time.
Yeah.
And the production company paid the cast and crew to just hang around for months, right?
Exactly.
And so that essentially it blew out the budget, not for reasons seen on screen, but just because they just kept everybody on retainer. And this also the production was stalled because of writers' strikes.
Yeah, that happened as well. Yeah, there's a lot going on.
Yeah, right.
Yeah. Anyways, Ethan Hunt, he's the chosen one. He's basically Jesus of
true.
this universe, and maybe even our real universe. He's back, and he's got a fake foaming tooth. What do you think the story
I
was?
forgot about the phone too.
Bearing in mind,
Yes.
what do you think the story was? Bearing in mind, you have to work in the word podcover.
Oh, I do, don't I? Yeah, because the podcover. It's a
This is a get the thing movie.
It's a get the orb. You've got to get the orb to close the gate being nuclear destruction of the entire world. But the podcover is a MacGuffin, obviously. There's a number of MacGuffins.
There's a few.
There's a podcover, there's a poisoned pill.
Yep.
And there's a foamy tooth.
Yep.
But that's not the poisoned pill. You'd think it would be, wouldn't you?
Yeah.
If I said, where might a man keep his poisoned pill, you might say in a foamy tooth.
Yeah.
But you'd be wrong. You couldn't be more wrong, idiot.
Do you reckon it's flavored?
Yeah.
Mint.
Well, isn't cyanide taste like almonds or something?
Yeah, but this one wasn't cyanide.
That's true. It was just foam, wasn't it? Spoiler alert.
Straight up foam.
It's just straight up foam. Okay, all right. So, when we last left our hero, Ethan Hunt, the Jesus of this universe.
Yep. And our universe,
That's
potentially.
true.
Or he's a demon.
That's true. So, a virus had entered a computer on a Russian submarine, which created an entity, an artificially intelligent entity, and that's going to take over the world because it can predict everything we do.
And also manipulate what we do.
That's exactly
I
right.
mean, it can sort of predict what you do unless you go, what would we not do?
That's right.
And then it won't think of that.
Yeah, it would never think of that. Absolutely. So
we have to love each other. It won't know that.
That's right. We've got to be friends. What is friends? I would say the entity's ability to predict what people can do is massively lessened in this movie.
Yeah.
For plot convenience.
It's got the same what will you do kind of powers that the leader had from that last Captain America movie.
Yeah,
It's like, I thought you were going to turn around in the car. You didn't.
You turned
Well,
around
then you predicted it wrong, idiot. It means you don't know what you're doing. You're just guessing like we all are.
And it was 50-50.
You fucking twerp. Get it together.
So anyway, there's a key. If you get,
That's from the last movie.
Yes, I know,
It's
but
two
there's
keys.
There's still a key. There's still two keys. You put them together,
And they make a crucifix.
They make a crucifix.
They make a
key.
crucifix.
Okay, a crucifix. Very nice.
Thanks.
You're welcome. Okay, so last time everybody had to get the keys.
Yeah.
There was Tom Cruise's Impossible Mission Team Force. And then there was Gabriel, who was the chosen one of the entity.
Yeah, man.
Who was connected to Tom Cruise in a way that...
shot his girlfriend in the 80s.
Yeah, but shot his girlfriend in the 80s. So they've got beef, obviously. And then also the government. The government's there. And they want that key as well, the government. But anyway, at the end of the last one, Tom Cruise got the key. But in this one, they've got to get more stuff because you need more stuff.
Yeah.
So in this one, they need to get the podcover, which is the MacGuffin, one of the MacGuffins.
That's in a submarine.
That's in the submarine. So they've got to go to the submarine to get the podcover, but they also... Luther's made a poison pill.
Yeah.
And so what they need to do is they need to get those together. One guy's got to get them all together.
Yep.
He's going to need that key. He's going to need the podcover. He's going to need the poison pill. One guy's got to get them all. who's going to get them all. Because Ethan's got the key, but then Gabriel, he's been kicked out of the house in the entities world because he failed.
Yeah.
So, but now he's going to be like, what if I got the entity?
If I get the
Podkova, I could take over the entity.
Tooth.
But then the government's like, yeah, well, maybe we've got a lot of stuff too, actually. So maybe we'd get the Podkova.
Yeah.
Maybe we'll do that.
We'll control the...
But then Ethan's like, well, what if I got the Podkova and then I destroyed the entity? And the government's like, don't do that, though.
Yeah.
We'll be responsible for it, you know?
Also, there might be a bomb. A couple of bombs.
There's so many bombs. Everybody's just casually got a nuclear bomb now.
Yeah, man. Who's working on this? What's happening? What's going on?
Anyway, that's the setup.
Yep.
And if you don't know that's the setup...
it'll tell you multiple times.
I mean, this movie just opens with an opening narration. Where
this movie assumes that you haven't seen the last one.
Yeah,
which is fair because it
call.
did get buried by Barbenheimer. But I do think it does way too much recapping of like, who's this? Look at this submarine. It does give me the sense that it doesn't trust the audience to go along.
Right.
Because it keeps over-explaining everything. And I think it drags it at the start because it's so busy going like, remember this guy, remember this, gotta get that, don't forget, this person fell out of a train, whatever.
But realistically, all we need in this is enough exposition to get to the big stunts, right?
Yeah.
And there's a couple of big stunts.
Yeah, or they have to go to a cabin.
What would you say is the central thesis of this movie? I would say it is the organizations and the governments that are there to protect you will probably let you down. So
do you know who won't let you down?
Your team of best bros.
Yeah.
Get your team of best bros. You can all work together. You can make the best of it.
Or one guy.
And also, it would help if you're the best guy at everything. If you're the main guy and you're also the best at everything, that would be handy.
And you can't be anybody's boyfriend because you're in love with the world too much.
That's exactly
Which has
right.
been a running theme of these movies for maybe 5 or so now.
Yeah.
And they're just like, Ethan, we need you back one more time. But also, we don't trust you.
Yeah, I mean, you were right every other time. You've been right every other time over the span of decades. But this time, you're probably wrong.
Yeah, we don't think. I'm Nick Offerman, and we don't like that around here.
That's right.
We don't like that around here.
What do you think of this movie overall?
I think it was weaker than the other one, but I think the stunts look better.
I agree.
I think it's really kind of... I don't know. I think it really does fall down because of that trust of like that you can't keep up with this. It's like, no, I get it.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Get a thing.
Okay.
And I think it does get wrapped up in its own lore and mythology and this idea that this man is so special and perfect and immortal and can do anything.
Well, what I would say is that I had a very good time with this movie. I think it's very entertaining. I think you're absolutely right. I think it does take a while to really get going.
Yeah.
I felt this movie was more surreal than the previous ones. Did you? It felt to me like more of a dreamlike
There
movie.
were elements of that. There's a moment where he is rescued, but it's not really
clear whether he's being rescued or it's just
he's
a
having
dream.
a stroke.
Maybe he died then. Who's to say? But to me, because when you think about the previous Mission Impossible movies, none of us have obviously ever been in these stunt-like situations, but at least you can recognize the world in which they take place.
Sure, yeah.
Like maybe you've been in a museum or a fancy building or a racetrack or whatever.
Or a Podkova submarine. And you can be like, okay, well, I could see, the scope for like intrigue and an action and who could be hiding in the rafters and all this sort of stuff. But so much of this movie takes place in this world of like thousands of meters underwater or like just in the sky or in like these government bunkers and all huge expansive
things. And I'm like, it doesn't... It's sort of lost touch with...
Yeah.
But on one level, I'm like, okay, but that feels like perhaps the natural evolution. It's an evolution of this universe.
Oh, definitely. But I also feel like in doing that, you isolate him from everybody else. Like, he is working with his team.
Yeah.
But I don't know whether this is COVID related, but there's not a lot of stuff they actually do together. He's
That's
always
true.
talking about how he's relying on his team and his team's going to do this.
And they are doing... He
They
is
are.
relying on
And it
him.
is happening, but it's like what happened to
They're thousands of miles away sometimes.
This is a much worse movie, but the last Fast and Furious movie was like all the Dom Toretto stuff is just him and whatever new cast member will tolerate him, and everybody else is doing other stuff.
Yeah,
And
right.
it kind of felt a bit like that here, where Ethan Hunt is mostly on his own, and he's just like, oh, they'll probably show up or whatever.
Yeah, I thought that was quite intriguing, this idea of, he's got to get that Podkova. They can't go with him because they obviously can't withstand the thousands of pounds of pressure underwater or the extreme cold or whatever.
It's
but
interesting.
they have to make their way around the world.
Yeah. It's also interesting that his age is his age because it says he was born in 64.
Oh, right,
Like
okay.
they're not like he's 40.
Yeah, they're not like born 1982.
Yeah.
Kind of old, but not that old.
Yeah, he was 13 in the first one.
Right. But I actually thought it was quite effective. There are a number of scenes where one party is one side of the world and the other party is the other side of the world, and they have to.
Totally.
There's a number of scenes where action is taking place in different sequences, but they all have to meet at the common time to perform the, And I thought those were very effectively tense.
I think
thought.
there's sometimes there are too many. There is a moment, it's towards the end where there's defusing a bomb. There's a server room and there's an airplane thing, and it's like you could take the bomb out of this.
Yeah,
like
it's
enough.
Yeah.
There's already enough at stake if the entity escapes or whatever.
But you need room, I think, for
all the characters,
new
and old.
We got to cycle some people out. Obviously, some people died in the previous movie. Do we bring in some new guys who from previous movies can we bring in, and maybe they're going to be the new team if we do another one of these.
Jeremy Renner didn't come back. He said he was
spoilers.
Being a
he didn't come back. Yeah,
that is a shame.
Yeah,
I would have liked to see more come back, I guess. But there is some, and some of the new inclusions are like great.
Yeah,
one in particular.
And there's also some. They've decided in this last movie to tie together some events, some recent events with past events.
Yeah.
Like they've gone, okay, well, some of this now relates to previous movies.
There's a direct
in the
link to 3 in this, which I like that one. I think 3 is good.
And there's a direct link to 1 also.
Yes, there is, exactly. But we haven't talked about Tom Cruise's hair.
Yep.
It's bad.
Because James, you flip-flopped. Because a while back you were saying it's bad, and then in a recent trailer I think you were saying it's looking good.
And you know why? It changes during the movie. Also, this is set 2 months after the last. Impossible.
Because he had like quite a
cruise
trim
cut.
He had quite a trim cut.
A cruise cut.
No, he didn't.
Wasn't quite a cruise cut. Like, there's a moment where he pulls off a Mission Impossible mask, and it's like all beetly.
Yeah,
it's too long over the years in the back, and the fringe is too short.
Okay.
I also think it looks like that. It looks better now if you see. By the way, if you've never listened to these before, we talk a lot about Tom Cruise's hair because I think it also reflects on the character.
I agree.
Yeah.
Because again, first movie. It is a cruise cut because he's just come out of the military or whatever it is.
Well, they changed it because now it was something else.
He was doing crime.
Yeah,
he was doing cruise crime,
and
then he was like, well, now I'm, and then in 2 he was off in the wilderness.
Yeah,
so he had the crazy rock climber's hair.
Yeah,
then 3 whatever,
with 3 normal,
4 pretty good hair. I remember being pretty long.
4 was 2 again. Because 4 was longer again.
Yeah.
But anyway, it does feel like a man in the awkward phase of growing his hair out. And I think in doing that, it ages him. Because it's this weird kind of Beatles cut on this dude who's 60. And
there is a moment, it is in
incredible.
the trailer, where he's on the biplane.
Yeah.
And he does have the Mo from the Three Stooges
He does, yeah. But I think when they feather it up a bit, bit of texture, it does look better. With texture, it looks good. When it's sitting flat, not good.
Somebody does, it's Hayley Atwell. She does comment on how good his hair looks.
I know, right?
She says, it's grown out a bit.
You
looks
look
good.
great.
You look great.
For a man your age or any age. And you're clearly not
I would
dyeing
love
your
to
hair.
cradle your head in my hands and lean close, but not too close.
Yeah, that's right.
Because that would imply too much.
If we kissed, it'd be through me breathing oxygen into you.
That's right.
Yeah. Anyway, there's also a lot of Tom Cruise in this movie explaining to people why he should be given the chance to do a thing. You have to trust me to do this. And they're like, well, we don't want to. And he's like, but love, and I'm always right.
That's correct,
and
yes.
they're like, he is always right.
He is always right, yeah.
Also, he's never been more shirtless in a Mission Impossible movie. He's running around in his underpants brawling.
That's
he's
true,
brawling on submarines.
Yeah.
He's brawling in torture chambers.
He's brawling on planes, multiple biplanes. Yeah. He was showing.
He's in incredible shape.
I agree.
Yeah.
Incredible stuff.
And he's really monkeying about. Like, he's talked about how, like, what he does to his body to maintain it. And he, he considers it a tool like anything else,
He's just doing the Tom Cruise routine, which is incredible intensity at everything. And he's just focused it on getting in shape, and it's worked.
It is, yeah.
There's never been a more intense man in Hollywood, I don't think.
I think you're right. How do you feel about the action sequences in this? I know we briefly talked about it. I think there's some really good underwater stuff.
Yep.
It's also way better. I can't remember which one, but there's an underwater sequence in one of the previous ones. It's the one where he also is strapped to the side of the plane. And
that's 5.
Yeah, and even though he did a lot of that for real and
looks
held
fake.
his breath. It looks fake. Whereas this,
It all looks real.
it all looks very real. And he's going through a submarine in different air pockets as it's rolling towards a cliff. And it's all very well choreographed.
And the air, there's, later on, and again, this is in the trailer, there's some aerial stunts on biplanes.
Yep.
Never for a moment did I think he wasn't there.
No.
Like, he's on those planes.
There's
he's
only
being tipped upside down.
one moment where, because Gabriel is also up there.
Yeah.
And when you see him up close, it's kind of like...
Isai Morales.
Yes. I don't think he's there for some of that, which is fair enough. Why should he be?
Yeah.
That's totally fine.
Tom, there's no need to do any of this. They can do it with graphics.
Yeah.
But what I would say is, because when we talked about Dead Reckoning Part 1 of 1, there, the big stunt was, of course, was Ethan Hunt driving his motorcycle off a cliff and then opening his parachute. And when there was a featurette that ran before a bunch of other movies, you probably saw it in cinemas, where we see the behind the scenes of that, and it looked incredible and terrifying, but he does it off a ramp.
Yeah.
They put up a ramp on the cliff edge for him to do that.
Yeah.
And when we actually see the movie, it looked way less realistic because they had to remove the ramp. I think they should have just kept it in. Or made it look like
rock-like or
whatever.
whatever.
Rock-like, or make it look like a bridge that's broken off or something like that. But I think they've taken some of that criticism to heart.
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't hear it publicly or what have you, but maybe they just went, you know what, we could do this better.
Yeah.
And they've just been way better at hiding the seams. That when this movie starts, we do see a montage of some clips from previous movies. And there is a moment from the last one where Hayley Atwell and Tom Cruise are in a train that has fallen partially off a cliff, and you see them, fall down that, and it's got that digital fog on it. And there's no instance of that digital fog in this movie.
It looks incredible. And obviously a lot of that they did do for real, most of it seems. Though they said the same thing about Top Gun, and there's a lot of CGI in Top Gun and not real plane stuff, which, fine. Yeah. Like, you're selling a movie on... It's kind of, though it does erase, like...
The work of all the visual effects
artists and whatever. But, yeah, or whatever. But no, that sucks. But I think here, I was watching an interview with Christopher McQuarrie, who returns as director. And
McQ,
and a lot of that, because it's biplanes and they have to use like old school planes in this, and they write a reason for that being they barely go faster than a car. So you have to get it quite low to get that sense of speed. And I think that does add this like element of danger and him leaping from one to the other and crawling in and out and figuring out the controls and all of that.
Slithering around like a demon.
Finding a pair of goggles.
Gotta find those goggles.
Because otherwise your eyes are just getting blasted by the wind the entire time. There's also a moment where he becomes a human torpedo, where he goes through a torpedo tube.
That's so true, isn't it?
Pretty good, man.
Existing pre-existing cast.
Mr. Diarrhea is back.
Oh, he's new, but he's also old.
Well, he's new but old, yeah.
What's that character's name? Download? Download.
Yeah.
Mr. Downloads.
Mr. Downloads.
He's back. We've without spoiling it, we'll talk about it, I think, in spoilers, but we finally figure out where he's been. We'll talk about the knife. Make a note of that. We're going to talk about the knife.
All right, I'll put a knife.
But I was going to say, all the regular players are back. Simon Pegg is back. I think he's doing a good job. He's having fun. I always enjoy him in these.
Luther's back.
Hayley
Atwell's back.
Pom Clementieff is back.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
Because she didn't die in the last one.
That other guy from the previous movie is back.
Oh, Shea Wiggum.
Oh, him also.
Yep.
No, he's in the team.
Oh, yeah.
What's his name? I'm bringing it up. Greg Tarzan.
There we go.
As Davis.
There we go, yeah. Who was on Shea Wiggum's team in the last movie.
But now he's with Tom Cruise. What's his name? Kittredge is back.
Yep.
Yeah.
Rob Delaney not back, although he's in the voice. You hear his voice in the opening.
Oh, okay, interesting. New additions include Hannah Waddington from Ted Lasso.
That's right.
And Tremel Tillman as a submarine captain.
And Katie O'Brien also in the team.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, as a Navy diver. Enjoy Tillman's work immensely. Just
so good
because he's
on board. He's like, great.
Yeah,
I love movies. I love submarines.
I'm also a loose cannon.
Yeah.
But it's difficult in a submarine.
Yeah, I'm a nuclear submarine captain.
And I tell you this, put him on the team. I don't know how.
Get him in there.
Get him on the IMF next movie.
Yep.
I don't care how you have to do it. He got busted down for disobeying orders or whatever. So let's put him on the IMF. Why not?
Yeah, I agree.
Great, very good,
very good. Yeah. But yeah, I like Gabriel as a villain. I think he kind of does almost play second fiddle to the entity, but the entity itself isn't like a physical
Well,
presence.
that's the thing. If I would, that's a good point. You've reminded me. If I had a criticism of this movie, and I have many.
Whoa, yeah, mate, this is Tom Cruise's movie.
But there's not like the enemy is time.
Yeah,
there's not really of
all of us,
And the well, that's true. And the enemy is the entity, because the entity in this case is trying to take over the nuclear facilities and capabilities of all the nations, so it can blow everything up. I mean, that's not a spoiler, really.
No,
it's not going to be like, I got him, surprise. I'm going to just get to keep him. But like, we never really get a sense of the entity, like we never have, really. I don't think it's necessarily an effective. None of it's. I don't think it really has an effective antagonist.
Do you think maybe you need? I mean, Gabriel becomes like the face of it, but even then, they're not really working together like they were in the last one. Do you think it needs like not a robot, but maybe there's like a face to it?
Yeah,
he does get in an entity sarcophagus at one point.
Yeah, but I thought it was going to be more than it was.
Yeah.
I don't know. I
thought they were going to make him do all the Mission Impossible movies in virtual reality.
Yeah, that's true. I think maybe, again, it's that surreal nature of it, that he's just sort of pushing against a force.
Yeah.
Ethan's just sort of fighting against the entire world to some degree, but I don't know. I guess maybe it could have gotten a new follower or something.
Yeah.
But then who do you...
I think it's an interesting idea.
Bringing in a new guy is not... Like, that wouldn't be effective at this point because there's no personal connection. But, like, when you think about previous Mission Impossibles, you got
your Philip Seymour Hoffman.
That's the first one. I thought of Philip Seymour Hoffman.
Amazing.
Henry Cavill, I think, was great in Fallout.
Yeah, he was.
Jim Phelps, John Voight. I think even
John
was
Voight's
good in the first one. But and those are the memorable ones. But you
little Jim Phelps reference in this.
Dougray Scott, Mr. Denim Suit at the races himself.
I mean, also the entity can, like, if he's got special Mission Impossible glasses on, the entity can appear as anybody in front of you.
Yeah.
So you could have used that to bring back others if you wanted to. But also, like, now that I say that, do you want to do that, really? I think I agree with you. I think there's an idea. I like the idea behind this algorithm which is manipulating everybody's feeds and whatever, and nobody knows what's true. Oh, it's like real life. But yeah, I think it does lack that core.
They didn't really do that in this one as well. Like in the previous one,
they mention it that the world's governments don't know what's real and etc.
But if you remember in the last one, Gabriel could disappear off CCTV footage and stuff because the entity was erasing him in real time, kind of thing. They don't really do that at all in this. No,
guess it doesn't need to. I don't know.
I don't know either.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Should we do some spoilers?
Let's do some spoilers. I'm going to say best movie ever. I think from the action set pieces, good. I just have a good time with this crew. Yeah. I think they're fun. You know what I mean?
It is weaker than the last.
Okay.
Except for the stunt work, which I think is pretty exceptional. Tom Cruise is a weird unit.
He sure is. I mean, really name one thing that's weird.
I love how the movies are just like, he's the best man in the world, and he'll never let you down.
And he could be your best man.
And he could be your best friend.
But he can't marry himself.
No, he can't.
He could marry himself.
Sure. But I think also, maybe if you gave him the keys to the universe, maybe you should think about that.
If you gave him the keys to the universe.
He wouldn't take it.
Yeah.
But he could and he should.
What if Michelle Monaghan was the face of the entity?
Yeah.
That could work, I think.
Whatever.
Yeah. Or Rebecca Ferguson.
Whatever. Or Tandy Newton.
Or Tandy Computers.
Very good. Mm-hmm. Or Dick Smith Electronics.
Maybe Dick Smith would be the face.
Let's do spoilers. Now, we always talk about, for all of these, does he go rogue?
Yes.
Now, the president gives him permission to go rogue.
But
the president is the highest authority in the land.
But the president is also going rogue.
That's true.
Yeah.
So who's going rogue here? I've lost track.
The president is going rogue.
Submarine captain going rogue.
He's going rogue.
Yep.
And everybody on the team.
Everyone's going rogue.
Especially the guy on the submarine who tries to kill him in a knife fight. He's going rogue. He's going rogue from a different...
He's on the internet too much.
Yeah, he's going... Yeah,
which Tom Cruise says to him.
That's true.
Yeah.
Who else is going rogue?
Haley Atwell goes... Oh, but she's on the team. She goes rogue pretty early on.
But the gentleman, the new guy, he's gone rogue from Shea Wiggum because he was Shea Wiggum's partner.
That's true.
And he's going rogue.
He's going rogue big time. I think Tom...
Gabriel's gone rogue.
Yeah, true. Everyone's gone rogue.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I think it's because there's no one in charge. So everyone's just going rogue.
Doing their best.
But I don't know against who or for what. But
for sure.
Anyway, you wanted to come back to the knife. Do you want to talk about the knife?
Oh, well, it turned... So
This is a fun callback. Also, Mr. Diarrhea, whose name I've forgotten. From
Mr. Diarrhea, Mr. Bob Diarrhea.
Yeah, he absolutely...
That's the oldest reference we've ever done, I think. Even references older than like... Sometimes we'll reference like a movie.
What is this reference?
Mr. Dobalina. From Del the Funky Homo Sapien.
Come on, man.
Yeah.
That's too old even for me.
Hang on. Final. We got to bring these characters back. Here we go.
His name's Rolf Saxon.
Okay.
And he's CIA analyst Will something.
William Donlow. There we go.
Yeah.
William Downloads.
By the way, big glow up.
Yeah, looking great. Incredible. Yeah. Best he's ever looked.
He's 70.
He's looking... Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
It's got a lot of dark hair.
A lot of hair.
Yeah. So Greg Tarzan Davis, Theo Davis, he went rogue. I just want to mention his name. Got to remember because he'll be in the next one.
Okay,
I presume. So. Yeah, so...
You're implying that Tom Cruise lives through this.
Well, we're in spoilers. So, yeah.
Yeah, no, I'm telling you, he doesn't. Because he died. He drowned.
He did drown, didn't he? Yeah. The rest was simply a dream. His last remaining neurons firing.
It doesn't feel final at all.
No, of course not. No. Why would it?
Yeah.
You need at the end
because you said it was. So at least leave it like he died, or at least like allude to the fact that he's going to stop doing something. But he's not. They give him the power of the internet, and then he fucks off.
Yeah, he sticks it in a box. He sticks it in one of those little clamshell cases, and he leaves. Would you have preferred an ending where the rest of the like it's assumed he died, and then the rest of the team meet up, and they're like, here we are, and we're here to honor Ethan Hunt, and then we leave, but then we're like,
he's watching.
Wait a second,
somebody's watching.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. I mean, we'd be talking about it.
That's true.
As opposed to now where I'm just like, oh, yeah.
That's right.
Oh, yeah.
Anyway, William Donlow.
Yeah.
So he's the man that Ethan Hunt gave diarrhea to in Mission Impossible 1, causing him to leave the room so Ethan could
Did they ever mention the fact that
he
gave him diarrhea?
They don't specifically say, I gave you diarrhea and I'm sorry. He does say, I'm sorry for what happened to you.
Yeah.
And then he's like, no, actually, I went to the Arctic and I met my wife.
Yeah. But he didn't say, and you gave me diarrhea.
And that's what they say, Arctic life, Arctic wife. You know what I mean?
So true.
So anyway, Ethan Hunt steals the knock list, and then this guy gets sent off. But if you recall, in the first Mission Impossible, Jean Reno drops his knife. He drops. He's got a old blacked out kind of switchblade flippy outy knife, and it lands in the desk. Ends in the table, and then in this movie, Ethan Hunt is talking to Don Lowe and he's saying, sorry I gave you diarrhea that time. Sorry I gave you diarrhea for decades. I understand you just had it on and off for decades. And he's like, that's fine. Actually, I owe you because I met my wife in the Arctic.
Right.
Anyway, thanks for that. And he hands him the knife, the blacked out tactical flippy knife.
Incredible.
But it can't be the knife.
Why not?
Because that would have been taken in evidence.
No, he took it.
What, do you get the knife back?
Yeah. They said,
you think he took it?
Here's your knife.
Right.
He was trying to cover it up.
Right.
So he's like, oh, shit. Oh, shit, I'm going to get fired.
Yeah, I better take this knife and hold on to it for 30 years.
Yeah, I would have kept that knife also.
I guess he did.
I'd be like, this is my knife.
Yeah, okay, I guess.
Or at least return it to Jean Reno, a character who probably died in that movie, I think.
I think he exploded. I think he was in one of the exploding helicopters.
Oh, he might have been in the helicopter, yeah. But no, I thought that character was like, he's great.
Yeah.
He's fun and he's nice. His wife's fun.
Yeah.
They're just on the team now.
And they basically put everybody in the position where they might die.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Unless they can sprint away from an explosion.
Well, there were certainly a few moments in this where I'm like, of these characters, who's had an arc where they can sacrifice themselves?
Well, after Luther died,
I
was like, that's it.
Yeah,
I'm not doing another one.
Okay, yeah.
And he's like, sorry, brother, I got to be in an explosion right now for Mission Impossible.
That's right.
But we're brothers and I love you.
Yeah.
And when you save the world, which you will because you're Jesus, there'll be a message that tells you that you're the best.
I think that message shouldn't have self-destructed.
No?
I think it should have said,
this.
Yeah, you can keep this. This message is going to self-destruct in 5 seconds. Just kidding. You keep it.
Also,
keep it, bro.
Tom Cruise, if Luther has cancer...
Yes.
And is in a bed.
Probably from all the masks.
Probably
the mask making machine gives you cancer.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Or he put his face in it.
Just directly. Ethan, I've come up with a way to put the masks on faster. You just stick your head in and then I push the button and it forms it around your head. Luther, please. Maybe don't.
But
it's got that atomic symbol on it, the warning symbol. Maybe don't.
Why would you like... Ethan's like, I'll get this when I'll come back and I'll get the poison pill later.
Oh, yeah, so
Dude, take it with you. What are you doing? He's sick.
Let's spoil the plot. Okay, so Luther has cancer, but he's come up with a poison pill.
He's the smartest.
It's a USB stick and it's got a bit of data on it. So when you get the
Podcover.
The podcover, thank you very much.
From the submarine machine.
From the submarine. What you're going to need to do is first you're going to need the crucifix key.
You're going to need the crucifix.
Open up the thing and open up the glove box of the submarine.
And then throw it away. You don't need it anymore.
You don't need it anymore. Don't worry about it. And then you're going to get the podcover, which is the hard drive, with the source code of the entity on it.
Yep.
So then you're going to put the poison. What you need to do is you need to put the poison pill.
Put them together.
Wait, no. Also, he invented a 5-dimensional drive or something.
Oh, yeah.
He invented a crystal USB stick.
But that's impossible.
Well, he did it, though, because he's Luther. And he died, so you make the sacrifice, you get
You can't say he did.
It's like a spell.
Yeah.
A lot of this is like a magic spell. It's like, well, you need to sacrifice a thing for the magic spell. So
Oh, yeah.
Luther died. So he's come up with a little crystal thing like a Fortress of Solitude crystal.
And it fits any kind of thing, I guess.
Including the entity. So that's the trap for the entity. That's the genie.
The entity thinks it's the world, but it's merely a giant hard drive or something.
That's so true. So they need to trap the entity in that. So what they have to do is the entity, James,
Yeah.
the entity wants to be put in a secure facility that is nuclear bomb proof, and then it's going to blow up the world with nuclear bombs and wait it out, and then just, I don't know, lord
Run
over
around.
the bacteria or whatever. So what the heroes need to do is they need to get the podcover, obviously.
Gotta get it.
They got to put the poison pill in the podcover, and then they're going to put the entity. Then it's going to get the entity to go into the server in the secure facility.
And then you snatch it.
Well, then they put the magic bottle on the computer, so they're going to need Haley Atwell's fast fingers,
100th of a second or whatever.
to cut a wire, and then the entity's going to go into the crystal, and then when it glows because it's trapped, then they pull the crystal out,
100th of a second.
and they've caught it 100th
Yeah.
of a second.
And then they don't smash it for some reason.
Yeah, they don't smash it. I would have smashed it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Also, it's never really established why the entity can't just do that with a copy of itself. Like, surely it could just be like, oh, they caught the copy, but I'm still here.
Yeah. I'm in the internet.
I'm in
man.
the internet, actually, yeah.
I'm on the Something Awful forums.
That's right.
I'm the entity.
I'm the most... No, I'm not, in retrospect, I'm not the most awful thing on these forums. I'm just pretty awful, honestly.
Yeah, I think the villain death is really funny.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. He's like, well, I'm going to escape, and then I'll be...
Only one parachute.
Yeah.
Which there isn't.
That's right. Only one parachute, Ethan. I'm going to escape, and then I'll be back later, and then he just smashes...
Gets wedgied and smashes his head.
Smashes his head on and dies.
Yeah.
That is funny. And
That
he
is funny.
sort of-
Yeah.
It's funny.
And he's off there. And Shea Wiggum is the son of Jim Phelps. And guess what
Whoa.
his name is?
Jim Phelps.
Jim Phelps also.
That's right.
And Tom Cruise is like, let's be brothers, shake my hand. And he's like, I won't.
Yeah.
But then at the end, they do shake hands, and then they do that other kind of shake
Do the
hands. Like they're
special shake of
brothers.
the hand, and then they do the kind of the bring in for the sort of the hug.
Yeah.
But I'm slapping you back as
Which
well.
is basically saying to Tom Cruise, I respect that you blew my dad up with chewing gum.
That's right. One of the most embarrassing ways you could possibly go.
Then he got mashed by
The
a
other
helicopter.
callback that they've thrown in there is that when Ethan had to get the rabbit's foot in Mission Impossible
Yeah.
3, which we assumed
We thought it was a biological weapon.
because it had a biohazard symbol on it,
Yeah.
but actually it turned out that was the entity.
Yeah.
I think.
Or the basis of it or something.
Something.
God, everyone's getting something.
Everybody's getting something.
Everyone's
you know?
getting something for themselves.
Yeah.
Except for Tom Cruise, who was getting something for all of us.
That's right.
Entertainment.
Mankind and entertainment.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Well, did we really need to tie in? Did Shea Wiggum really need to be Jim
No,
Phelps'
I thought you were
son?
going to say the Entity Part 3 thing. I don't mind that. I like the obscure callbacks to previous movies. But that one, I'm like, yeah, it didn't really have to be that. And he's also like, he didn't even know his dad. Like, it didn't even matter. Because he's
Yeah.
like, yeah, I didn't know my dad. He didn't raise me.
Yeah.
I don't
this
care.
is really just a coincidence.
Yeah.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page just to see if we've missed anything. Mariella Garriga as Marie, a woman from Ethan and Gabriel's past, seen in a brief flashback.
Yeah.
That's never resolved.
No. Well,
What's
he
her
shot
deal?
her or whatever.
I guess.
Gabriel shot her.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah. What do you think Ethan's going to do with the Entity? Stick it in his bum?
I was trying to think of anything other than sticking in his phone.
Well, now you won't be able to.
No, I won't be able to. It's like, don't think about elephants. Now you're thinking about elephants. Or you're thinking about Tom Cruise sticking a glowing crystal up his bum. That's more of a Gwyneth Paltrow thing to do.
I would say
Speaking
so.
of Gwyneth Paltrow, we were doing it earlier on
Yeah.
our podcast.
Yeah.
Um,
I just think you know what it felt like the ending to any Mission Impossible movie where it's just kind of they meet in Times Square or whatever. It's not Times Square, and they all look at each other and they nod, and then they go their separate ways.
Yes.
It's like, okay, I don't know, wrap it up maybe.
Yeah, right.
You know, or I don't know. I think there would be a real strength to just capping this off instead of just being like, what if Tom Cruise? What if he was God? He might be. And then, okay,
yeah.
because
the thing is, obviously, is that like as an IP, they must keep the door open for
I understand that. Yeah.
You know, and I guess Bond at the very least incinerated Daniel Craig. So
at the very least,
in real life,
it's the least they could do
in real life too.
Yeah.
But in this, they're just like, yeah, everybody's alive and fine again. Because I mean, who's going to do the stunts that Tom Cruise does? You can't. Can you bring back?
I think
no matter
you rebrand or whatever.
I guess you rebrand.
You make a different kind of movie.
How do you go? Well, the last two movies didn't do that well financially, but this is going to draw in a new audience. We're not going to do any big stunts.
I mean, if these big stunts aren't bringing people in,
it's true.
Then you don't need to do them.
I guess.
Or you can do a more scaled down version.
Yeah.
I mean, I still think the first one is fucking incredible.
Yeah, absolutely.
And that's pretty low key.
Yeah.
I mean, there is big stunt work in that, but like there's a train sequence, but that's all fakes.
Yeah. I also think that when you think about, very memorable sequences in Mission Impossible movies, you think about the smaller scale stuff just as much as you think of the bigger stuff. Like in Fallout, the bathroom fight, which is just a very well choreographed.
There's some good choreo in this
sequence
as well.
I think
he has a slippery demon fight in this.
Yeah, that's true. I think of the moment in, I think it's 4 where Ethan Hunt and Benji have to go through the Kremlin, and then they've got that hologram umbrella situation. Like, that's a fun thing. You do more of that.
Agreed.
Just masks. And what's interesting as well, I think, in this one is that some of the stuff is just like, it's just par of the course. Like, there's a moment where there's
masking is,
they just a quick unmask. They're like, that's just a part of the furniture now, kind of thing.
Absolutely.
I guess you could bring it back. I would like to see, again, I've said this about the Bond franchise, I would have really liked to see the support team from the Daniel Craig movies continue in a movie or a TV series with new 000 agents.
Yeah.
Bring in
Shea Wiggum.
No, don't.
Naomi.
No. Well, yes, no, but
Naomi Harris. Sorry.
You know Naomi Harris as Moneypenny, but you get
Was she in the Ms. Marvel movie or whatever?
Yes.
New 007.
It's freaking Lashana Lynch.
Yeah.
You bring in Lashana Lynch as the new 007 and then the other 00s. I would be absolutely happy with no Tom Cruise. I'd be happy with Tom Cruise.
Just in the world?
Yeah. No, I'd be happy with
Get him out of here.
I'd be happy with Tom Cruise again as Ethan Hunt. But if he doesn't want to come back, I would be happy to have this team just do Mission Impossible stuff. And it's the lower key stuff. It doesn't have to be maybe one huge stunt.
Yeah.
You could just get a regular stunt guy to do a big stunt.
You could do a big stunt with a guy.
You get a guy who looks a bit like Simon Pegg, but he's good at stunts.
Big
stunts.
Yeah.
Other guys can run.
Anyone can run.
Anyone can run.
Not anyone, but
yes.
a lot of people
can.
A lot
of people can run.
Wow. Yeah. All in all, I think this is the last Mission Impossible for a while, but probably not ever.
Absolutely not. No, it's going to continue.
Yeah. Well, Mason, we've got some reviews that people have left us at the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group.
That's
the only good thing on Facebook. Stay away from it otherwise. From Scott Jared, who says, one of the funniest villain deaths I've seen. Movie as a whole was kind of sluggish, but I liked it enough. It's sitting as my second least favorite of the franchise, but I gave it a 7 out of 10, so that tells you how good this franchise is.
And leaves it ambiguous as to what his least favorite is.
It's 2.
It could be 3.
No, 3's good.
I think 3 is good also, but a lot of people put it at the bottom. I don't know why. Remember Philip Seymour Hoffman? He's pretending to be Ethan Hunt, pretending to be Philip Seymour
Hoffman. I think the reason these movies are what they are is because of that one. That one fixed them.
Yeah, right.
It's a J.J. Abrams one.
Yeah.
Neil NH says, really dug this one. Gets off to a slow start, but has one of my favorite third acts of the entire franchise. Noah Sargent says, I really wanted to love Final Reckoning, but I thought the pacing was awful. Gabriel was a terrible villain, though he wasn't great in Dead Reckoning, and the film doesn't trust its audience. But on the other hand, you have perhaps my favorite set piece of the franchise, another killer piece with a biplane. Really, after the 1.5 mark, it gets better. Yeah, this is pretty long as well. I forgot to mention this, but
it is long.
It's a lot going on. Zach Garrity says, I hated how this film treated me like I was the dumbest person alive. Way too much exposition and way too many flashbacks. The action scenes were incredible, though. And Ollie Brady says, from the views of other people above, I have no idea what people are hoping/expecting this movie to be. Too long? Too self-indulgent? Too much cruise? Too much running? I thought that was great. Hit every note I wanted and more. If that's the last Tom Cruise Mission Impossible, it goes out on a high. Also, really great to see a small Philip Seymour Hoffman moment sadly missed.
I guess the question then becomes if we do a sequel.
Me and you.
Yeah, me and you. I think what they'd have to do is they have to sort of close the door on the idea that there's going to be another entity that is doing this world-changing, world-ending thing, and just they're gonna have to trim it back to be like, well, there's a list.
There's a list.
We've got to get the list or whatever. You know that you know.
It is fun when they're listing the things that Ethan Hunt did, and they're like, "Oh, that last one happened like a month ago."
Yeah, you were there. You fell for it, idiot. You fell for the utmost master of tradecraft. He wore an imperceptible mask and he gas bombed you all. You dumbasses. Grow up. Get a job. Get a real job.
Agreed. Anyway, should we move it along?
Let's move it along.
To what we're reading?
What we're going to read.
Now, if you're on the YouTube video, you don't get that.
No, you have to go to the podcast.
Yeah, that's right.
Podcast called The Weekly Planet.
You might even be like, what is that? Figure it out.
Well, don't worry about it.
Grow up.
It's not for you.
Grow up.
No, James, I'm going to try reverse psychology. You wouldn't be able to handle it.
It's to be on you.
A little segment from our little podcast.
Yeah. I'm doing the thing. What are we reading today? Whoa, this is the segment where we talk about what we've been reading.
So true, isn't
and
it?
What we're going to read.
Oh, yes. Emphasizing an interesting word there.
It's the best word. What are you reading or going to read?
I'm up to date on Poker Face, which is a delightful
How
show.
many are there now
There's
after
four.
the moment?
There's four.
What do you think so far?
I think it's fun.
Yeah?
They've sort of, spoilers for a little bit of spoilers for Poker Face. In the previous season, she was on the run. Charlie Cale, Natasha Lyonne, was on the run from a casino boss who's involved with the mob because of murders and etc. and whatever.
Yeah.
But and by the end of a couple of episodes in this, they've sort of wrapped up that storyline. They're like, we're done with this.
Okay.
Let's continue the murder of the week theme.
But without that other side.
Without the other side.
Oh, I didn't know they were going to wrap that up. Okay.
I didn't know either.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's fun.
I've only seen the first.
Again, it's the
episode
same. It's the same.
season.
It's the same. Columbo style vibe of like
Yeah.
murder of the week. We know how they've done it.
Yeah.
It's fun guest stars, etc.
It's interesting because she knows when people are lying, but that doesn't always help you solve a crime.
A crime, that's true.
Yeah, so-
I enjoy the fact that there is that conceit. She's got that special ability, but how do we work that to its limits kind of thing?
Yeah,
I think it's
absolutely.
a lot of fun.
Agreed.
It's very, very stylish, very interesting. You mentioned this, I think we got an email about this. Somebody emailed in, I think it's...
I hope they didn't.
We got an email this week about things that take you out of a show or like things you can't get on board with. The first episode, I think you mentioned in previous weeks, it's got Cynthia Erivo from Wicked as multiple identical siblings, which first of all is a very difficult way to start off.
Yes.
Like just
There's like 4 or 5 of them.
There's 5 of them, and you just way to throw yourself in the deep end, Ryan Johnson.
Yeah.
But so they're multiple identical siblings, many of which who as children played the same character on like a TV cop show kind of thing, and they've all grown up and gone their separate ways.
Some of them have a French accent.
Yeah, and one of them has given up everything to sort of become like a seasonal fruit picker, and that's how she meets Charlie Cale in this. But I'm watching the show and I'm like, oh, she's wearing a $500 shirt. I recognize it. I'm like, okay, it's like Ralph Lauren has like a weird Western line, and it's like, oh, that's a $500 shirt. That's like
well, not everybody would recognize a Ralph Lauren shirt.
No, only a bunch of weirdos would. Like, but I think it's just funny how like Hollywood wardrobe works. It's like we need to show this character as a real down and out kind of character. Probably wears a flannel shirt.
Yeah.
Let's go to Rodeo Drive and buy the most expensive one we can find. And
I don't know. You can even get shirts for $500. I normally spend much more. Mason.
Yeah.
We read the Power Fantasy. That's with the Big Sandwich comic book cover. That's coming
Sometimes
up.
I show up and you have multiple holes in your shirt.
This is you don't get my best clothes, Mason.
I know.
I look great when I go out.
Sometimes you're entertaining other guests.
Nah, never.
And I'm like, wow, going out shirt, is it? Wow.
I could
For Joe and Co.
I could turn it on.
Yeah.
I'm very charming for like 15 minutes.
Yeah.
And then I'll switch off.
Yeah, that's
I'm also reading with my son and I are reading together Super Sons, the complete collection book one. It's a Damian Wayne, Jonathan Kent team up book.
Yeah, Robert and Superboy.
They don't really like each other. It's by Peter J. Tomasi. It's 500 plus pages. Ooh. This omnibus, and it's just their little adventures together. And one's kind of mean and one's nice and whatever.
That's right. Yes.
Superboy doesn't have all his powers yet, so they're kind of comparable in a lot of ways.
Yeah, right.
Yeah,
Well, that's not going to last forever, is it?
No, and my son loves it, and they're pretty fun, and it's got a bunch of other Batman stuff and whatever, and there's Alfred and etc. He's just loving the Damian Wayne, Jonathan Kent stuff at the moment. Yeah. So that's what we've been reading through.
I forgot to mention we were both on. We mentioned this last week, but we're both on Dave Warnicki's. We're both on Dave Warnicki's podcast Book Cheat, where he told us all about the Day of the Triffids. So that's out now. I'm also on the Do Go On 500th episode. It's being released in segments, and I'm on the first segment with Cass Page, and then subsequent episodes have Will Anderson and Reese Nicholson and all sorts of other fun.
Well, how'd you get in that bloody lineup, mate?
Paid somebody off.
Oh,
yeah, that's right,
and I appreciate it.
I paid you, and then you made a call.
Correct.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. I said, don't let him on.
Oh, what?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah.
I want my money back.
No. So, you got on it, didn't you? What do you want your money back for?
That's a good point.
Cool. That's all the things we've been reading. And now it's time for letters, I think.
I'm trying to think if I've been reading anything else. Probably not, though.
Probably not, though.
I've been busy. Watch Sphere.
Yeah.
Watch the movie Sphere.
You want something to suck the life out of you? It's the movie Sphere.
That's right. An old, bad movie.
Yeah.
It's a shame because some people will be like,
old movies are good.
Yeah. Well, some people are like, I don't want to watch any old movies. They're probably bad. And oftentimes I'm like, no, old movies can be very good. This one isn't.
No, it's not.
It's bad. It's bad movie.
All right.
Letters?
Letters.
The classic one was letters, oh letters, we love you. Some letters, they're only a take away. We're going to hear right now, we're going to do letters.
James did a comical nodding off pantomime during this.
For what reason?
For what reason, I don't know.
It was real. Let me tell you this, Mason.
Yes.
It's the easiest thing in the world to send a letter to this show. All you need to do is have a Facebook account and then enter the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates group.
That's right.
And then have approved and don't be a dickhead. And then I'll be there's a thread every week and you can leave a comment under that. Or
yes,
send Mason an incredible Gmail.
That's right.
To weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com.
It's got to be incredible.
Yeah.
Don't just put "this is an incredible email" in the subject line.
We know that.
I'll know. You know.
Yeah. It has to be incredible.
Seems needy. Also.
And brief.
Needy and brief.
All right.
This one's a little longer than normal, but it resolves a mystery.
Because it's incredible?
It's incredible.
All right, then.
It's from Cameron Hurd.
Cameron Hurd what?
Regarding Thrifted Weekly Planet Tour Top.
Interesting.
Hi, James and Meso. Long-time listener, first-time emailer. Last episode, you mentioned that a friend found a Weekly Planet shirt in a thrift store that was signed.
That was Ruby Innes.
That was Ruby Innes. It's not concrete, but I believe that could well have been my shirt. I'm unfortunately not dead, but I do have a story.
All right. You better not be dead.
I was studying abroad at Deakin University when you did a live show at the European Beer Cafe. Do you remember that?
It was ages ago. Yeah.
Having listened to the pod since I started my uni studies in 2016, I couldn't let the opportunity pass me by, so I booked tickets for myself and my girlfriend at the time.
Oh, no.
That's foreshadowing.
Trouble in paradise.
That's right. I bought the shirt and got you guys to sign it and had a lovely chat with both of you. Fast forward to the end of my study abroad.
I'm good for 15 minutes.
That's right. And in the mess of... in all sorts of stuff. And in the mess
That's a reasonable amount of time.
I know. And in the mess of moving my life...
So defensive. That's reasonable, Mason.
Some would say it's too much. And in the mess of moving my life halfway across the world, I accidentally left the shirt with my girlfriend. I had intended to come back to Australia, so I didn't think there was much need to have her mail it over. Alas, we broke up about a year later and fell out of contact, meaning I never got my Weekly Planet shirt back.
Interesting.
With all that, I think there is a non-zero chance that it is my Weekly Planet shirt. I'm happy it wasn't tossed, but it's a shame it was lost to time. Well, it was.
Does he have a picture of which one it is?
No, but it's a picture of us all together.
Oh, hell yeah.
Yeah.
We're looking good.
Everybody's looking great.
That was ages ago.
Yes.
My face looks fatter.
Now?
No,
Agreed.
then.
Oh, then no? You look great now.
Agreed.
Yeah. Anyways, keep up the great work. Finally, I tried your overnight oats recipe, James, and it was actually pretty good. All the best, Cameron.
Some people often will do a teaspoon of peanut butter in that as well, if you want the extra calories. Something to think about.
I'm not going to think about it.
Not for you. Other people listen to this show.
Good.
That's a great email.
That is.
And I love it.
I mean, too long for our format of keeping it brief.
Normally.
But it's a beautiful...
Yeah, and a lot of people think they can get away with it. They go, well, this is an interesting email. I'll make it as long.
Yeah.
Don't do it.
Unless you're solving a mystery.
Yeah, unless you're
If you're out
solving
there
a
solving a
mystery.
mystery,
Yeah.
absolutely go for it.
Definitely.
James-
We have to care also.
That's true. It's true.
We don't care what you're up to.
Yeah.
Unless it's related to us.
It's
Or
just-
the entertainment
yeah,
industry.
yeah.
Yeah. This is from Alex Wilcox, who says, what's an attempt to reboot a movie series that flopped but you genuinely liked? Personally, I'm a fan of 2014's RoboCop, even though it wasn't a big hit financially or critically. I've got a few.
Okay, go on.
Fright Night, 2011, with Anton Yelchin.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I don't know if it went to be a series, but it's also got Colin Farrell.
That's true.
I wrote Tomb Raider. The Tomb Raider, I think, was a good attempt at a Tomb Raider movie.
Okay, but when was the last time you watched that?
Good point.
Have
Might
you
be
ever
back.
gone
Wally
back?
Goggs is in it.
Oh, yeah, all right.
He doesn't say what opened the tomb.
But he's also in one of the Bourne movies, but we didn't remember that until... Does he? Oh, yeah, because he says open the tomb.
but only in the trailer.
Yeah.
Dread.
Yeah, good, better, way better
Yeah.
reboot, yeah.
The original The Thing. No, the 80s The Thing, which is a reboot of The Thing.
that's true.
But again, not a franchise, though, I guess.
Yeah.
What about this? And I think you'll agree. Hellboy twice.
Yeah.
Both of them have bombed, and everybody
true.
hates them except for you.
I like
And
they're
I like
good.
some of them.
Thank you because again, whenever he puts me on the spot, I can't think of a single movie.
Yeah.
You'd have been like,
Name a
"What's
movie."
what's a movie?" And I'd be like, "Cornflakes."
What's a movie?
Yeah.
Great question. What is a movie?
Yeah, but absolutely the Hellboy movies. I think both. I think the David Harbour one and the new one are good.
Yep.
Sorry, everyone.
That's okay. No need to apologize, Mason.
That's
It's
terrific.
between you and God, Tom Cruise. What's next?
This is from David Collier.
Whoa.
Subject line sports.
Come on, mate.
Yeah, I know. David says, I'm a Spurs fan, and clearly Ange Postecoglou is the greatest Australian to have ever existed. How do you feel about him? Does the average Australian even know he exists? I know sports is not your wheelhouse, but thank you. Love the show, Dave. I've never heard of this guy, but he's on the Spurs.
Don't know who he is.
San Antonio Spurs? Is that the
Ange Postecoglou is also an association football manager.
Oh.
Am I looking at different guys?
Oh, Spurs. Is Spurs Tottenham Hotspur?
Maybe it is.
Maybe it is. That'd be Premier League.
Yeah, it is.
Okay. All right.
It is. I thought it was the Spurs, the basketball team.
Oh.
The Cincinnati Spurs, or whatever they're called.
San Antonio Spurs.
Shut up, Mason. You're
Okay.
always just coming at me. With the information, telling me
So
stuff.
is this guy a coach or was he a player?
Hey.
How the Spurs doing? How's the Tottenham Hotspurs doing?
He's association football manager. He's a soccer manager and former player. He's the head coach of the Premier League team, the Hotspur.
When I was a kid,
Born in Greece, grew up in Melbourne. Typical.
classic.
There was a lot of that.
Yeah. When I was
Which is okay. I'm okay with it.
when I was a kid, there was a Tottenham Hotspurs comic book. I think.
Was there?
Yeah.
Did you love it?
No.
Because you hate sport.
Yes.
Interesting.
I feel indifferent to Ange Postecoglou.
But we're better than him.
I agree.
Mm.
Yeah.
He was in the Young Socceroos.
Was he in the Young
And the
Socceroos?
Brisbane Roar.
Brisbane Roar.
And the Melbourne Victory.
Oh.
And the Australian national team or something.
Seems like he's bounced between a lot of clubs. Do they not like him or
It
something?
seems that way. I don't know. Some of these he was coaching and whatnot.
Mm.
Anyway, disregard. This one from Jason Rose who says, yes, I have one for you blokes who I like until I find out about your crimes and you have done. And there are no consequences. Are there no consequences for being the absolute worst anymore? Leto, Helming Tron, Spacey with his casting and speech, and all the Cairns drama, including Miller and LeBeouf, etc. What do you make of this?
Well, no, because then now there's for some of them there's like an alternate economy kind of
Yes,
thing
that's
where it's
right.
like you can just be like,
I got cancelled
I couldn't appeal to this group of people.
Yeah.
But there's a second group of people who are diametrically opposed in every way, and I can just get
Yep.
them to give me money.
I think if you have an audience also or money, then you don't get cancelled. Unless you've done very obvious and provable crimes.
Yeah.
Then you might go to jail for a bit, but then you might just get out. But then maybe you're Russell Brand.
Yep.
Who's almost certainly a sex criminal and just did the pivot and
Allegedly.
allegedly, and still running about. So, but I also think for a normal person, yes, there are consequences. If you say something crook online or are perceived to or whatever, then yeah. But if you're a person of wealth, no, I don't think cancel culture
But also
exists.
Tom Cruise, as we mentioned before.
Yeah.
Is he still in Scientology? Probably.
Yeah, we
But,
don't know.
We don't know.
Yeah.
But they're doing their level best to have it never brought up ever.
Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of weird stuff about Tom Cruise. So that's
This is a tweet from Brandon Strusnik, who's a movie critic.
Yeah.
And he's quoting a Variety article that says, Zachary Levi strikes back. The Trump-voting
I
Shazam
saw
star
this, yeah.
on feeling Hollywood's wrath over vaccine skepticism and the $100 million studio he's building in Austin. It's a Variety article. And Brandon has said, You used to just bomb out of Hollywood stardom and run the convention circuit, unhappily signing overpriced 8x10s from the one time you caught success. Now when Harold and the Purple Crayon doesn't hit, it's the deep state's fault and somehow everybody else's problem. So, you know.
Yeah. He did a lot of like, well, you know, people are surrounded by misinformation and that's why they say certain things. But it's like, dude, that's you.
Well, this is a quote from Zachary Levi. He says, Charlie Chaplin and Mary Pickford and Douglas Fairbanks and all those OGs knew it over 100 years ago. Hollywood was broken then and we need a better system. He says...
Isn't Charlie Chaplin a pedophile?
I mean, he's dead, so you can say that. Yeah. You can't defame the dead. He says of the silent era legends who founded United Artists to bypass oppressive studio contracts, this industry is crumbling around us. In order for us to survive, we need to have a space for artists that will foster certified, organic, human-made content, like Harold and the Purple Crayon, where I'm a boy but also a man. So I don't know. You know. Yeah.
Well, good luck to you, Zachary Levi, whatever you're doing. You can always... Yeah, do that pivot.
That's so true.
But also, I don't know. I don't think he's got like the popularity to like, I don't know, maybe I'm wrong, but
Maybe
like,
you're wrong.
I don't think people are like, whatever side he goes to, people aren't clamoring and like, this is the guy. We
Yeah.
finally got our own Ryan Reynolds or whatever.
So true.
Yeah. Anyway.
Well, I mean, you're whatever side you're on, you don't really need a Ryan Reynolds.
No.
It's fine.
But he's ours.
That's true. Here's an email from Nick.
Nick!
You've now received an email from Nottingham, England.
Finally.
That's right. Hey, boys, very long-time listener, first-time emailer. Have been listening to you guys for so long that one Mr. Nick Mason wasn't even on it. So that was Mr. Sunday Movies.
Oh, before that.
The original channel, maybe. Even. One of my very best friends, Rich, put me onto you guys way back when, and we've stayed firm friends ever since. And we pretty much mention you guys each time we chat. Unfortunately, Rich very recently had a heart attack and has to have had a pacemaker fitted at the tender age of 42.
Damn.
As I write this, he is still in hospital waiting for the operation. I would be forever grateful if you could give Rich a shout out, as I know he'll be listening to this, and I know it would mean the world to hear you guys wish him well. Also, I hope you don't mind if we appoint ourselves the podcast official Sherwood Forest band of merry nerds. Well, we already have one of those. But
That's right.
You can take
You
it.
can join it.
You can join it. That's right.
But this won't be a shout out because I don't want to give this guy further heart complications.
Oh, yeah. So it's a whisper out.
We hope you're doing okay.
I hope you're doing all right, Rich.
Yeah.
Good on you, buddy.
Yeah, we're glad they caught it.
Yeah.
That's good.
Yeah.
That's a good thing. Yeah.
Pacemaker.
Pacemaker.
Season 2. Coming out soon.
Exactly. No, that's good. Thank you so much for listening for such a long time.
It's a long time.
Yeah. That means you started listening when you were also in your 20s, which is when I started. And now I'm so old. Look at me, Mason.
I mean, what does he want me to say? You're fatter now? You're
Yeah,
fatter in
thank
the
you.
face now.
That's
what
I
you
want.
wanted, right?
It's all the filler.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
smoothing out my face.
Yeah.
I'm going to be
Yeah,
as
yeah.
smooth as an egg.
I hope so.
Got one more, Mason, from Noah Quinnet, who says, have you seen the Tim Robinson movie Friendship? Should I watch it? I haven't seen it, but you should watch it.
It's,
I want to watch
it's
it. Paul Rudd.
Paul Rudd and Tim
Looks
Robinson,
really
yeah.
good. Apparently it's the funniest movie of the year. That's
Okay.
what some
Do
are
you watch
saying.
the rehearsal?
I didn't finish the first season, but I am watching a lot of the second season because I find the concept of it really interesting as a whole.
right.
What about you?
Haven't seen it yet. No.
Yeah, it's good.
Maybe one day.
It's a dream. It's a beautiful dream.
It's beautiful.
I had a beautiful dream once.
Go on.
Nah, this is it. I don't really remember it. That's the show.
That's the whole show, folks. Thank you so much for listening. We absolutely appreciate it. Thank you for telling your friends about it, even if in doing so gives them some sort of heart condition.
But yeah,
It's worth it, I think.
If they got, yeah, well, I guess it probably is in the long run for us.
That's
This
right.
is from Dantalicious, because I'll read out your reviews, by the way, if they're 5 stars.
That's correct.
It says, where is it? Writing a review for one reason. In multiple episodes, I hear James and Mason mention a video that we can't see them. So-and-so is doing this, but I've looked everywhere and there is no video version of the podcast. I need to know if there is a video version that I'm missing out on, but 5 stars all around. Keep up the potting. No, there's no video.
Correct.
And I don't want to do that. Maybe we will at some point, but it's a pain in the ass.
Yeah.
And I don't like being seen until my face is completely smooth. It's a work in progress.
You got to become that egg. When you finally become... Send in tips for James to become more of an egg.
Yeah.
Because when he finally does that...
I'm going to have to shave my head as well. I'm going perfectly smooth.
That's right, yeah.
Eyebrows off.
Oh, yeah.
Beard gone.
Ear hair pulled
Yeah,
out.
I don't have that, Mason.
Okay.
This is from Sean the American, who says, the only good podcast.
Thank you.
I started listening to this podcast freshman year of high school. I graduated college last year. These two knuckleheads basically raised me, and I turned out mostly fine. Also, you've still got some more time ahead of you, so any mistakes that you have made, which aren't our fault, you can rectify.
That's so true, isn't it?
And we encourage that you do.
And in doing so, we can take credit for that.
That's right.
So that's great.
Yeah.
Mistakes you've made, that's on you.
Yep.
Rectify them. To yourself, be true.
We appreciate your undying loyalty to us.
That's so true, isn't it?
Yeah.
A couple of demons. A couple of slithery demons.
Mason,
Folks,
what else?
if you want to get in contact with us, you can go to weeklyplanetpod@gmail.com, or you can go to the Planet Broadcasting Great Mates Facebook group, or the Weekly Planet Pod subreddit and Discord for fun civil chats about podcasts and pop culture. Thank you to Sarabi and Maisie and Fidel for moderating those forums. They edit videos for us. They put stuff on TikTok. They do the Weekly Planet Clips channel. They keep it all going.
Oh, yeah.
Good stuff. If you want to follow some people on the socials, follow our friend Rob Collins. He's at Raw Collins on Twitter.
Yes.
He's at The Weekly Planet on Twitter. He'll keep you up to date on all things The Weekly Planet. Follow me on Twitter at Wikipedia Brown and on Instagram at Nick Maso. James is Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere. He's Mr. Sunday Movies everywhere.
I am, actually.
Couldn't think of a different name on a different platform.
I would love to, but I can't.
That's great. Let's see.
Stupid idiot.
All right.
That's me.
That's what I'm saying. I'm saying be kind to yourself.
I won't be.
Okay, great.
I'm my harshest critic.
Okay. That's right.
And I have some terrible critics.
Folks, if you want to support the show, you can go to patreon.com/Mr. Sunday Movies, chuck in a buck or an amount you would not miss, or you can go to bigsandwich.co for $9 per month, bonus podcasts, early videos, video game let's plays, movie commentaries, all sorts of stuff.
Yeah.
It's great stuff.
It is great
Tell you
stuff.
that much.
So next week,
Yes.
couple of things. I'm going to be away for some of it. The episode will be late,
Yes.
like definitively. So it's going to be, I don't know, maybe a day and a bit. No, maybe not a full day, but maybe half a day late.
Okay.
So it won't go up early at bigsandwich.co, unfortunately, for that week. That cannot be helped. But,
Yes.
and it just might not happen.
Okay.
It'll probably happen, but it might not because of being away and flights and whatever.
I'm pushing for it to happen.
Yeah, I agree. I'm with you, but I'm just saying because I'm coming back on the Sunday night
Yeah.
and late, so we can't do it then. And then you're working all day Monday, and so we're gonna have to record Monday night.
And you're
my
getting
time.
egg surgery.
And I'm getting egg surgery. Also, you can't rob me because I've got someone house sitting me. Too bad. But
you could kill them.
yeah, I forgot.
Yeah. Easy, simple solution.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But next week maybe we'll do Bring Her Back.
Oh, yeah, from the
also,
Racka Brothers.
Yeah, apparently it's incredible. Also, I don't know whether you want to do it, but The Last of Us might be wrapping up, so we could
I
maybe
would have
do
to
that.
watch 12 hours of The Last of Us.
Yeah, but also I'm happy to not. Like I
Okay,
don't mind.
all right.
We'll figure it out.
We could catch up with it another day.
Agreed.
Yeah.
So anyway, probably an episode next week. It will definitely be late, though.
Yes.
Just so people
That's
know.
right. Thank you to The Brute and the Basilisk and Rackham for all our musical themes. If you want a t-shirt, you go to tpublic.com, you search for The Weekly Planet or Weekly
I want a
Planet posters.
t-shirt.
You want a
I
t-shirt?
want to sign it and then give it away.
Huh.
Is that all right?
It's great.
Great.
It's very magnanimous of you.
Thank you.
Yeah. That's the whole show.
That's the whole show.
Grab that gem, you guys. We'll see you next week.
Bye.
Bye.